stuff and my gameplay goals and the art and Mike's artistic goals, but we also wanted the game to have like a heartbeat, a rhythm to it. And so we started looking around for music that seemed to fit our vision, as well as the art and stuff that we were looking into. And that led us to the chiptune scene. And we found that the soul of chiptune music really fit in with what the soul of our project was becoming. And so our composer used music by these artists here as inspiration while he crafted the in-game soundscapes in all of the BIT.TRIP games. And in fact, just to plug these folks, we worked directly with them on each of the BIT.TRIP games, and they contributed menu music and credits music, and they are all wonderful people, just fantastic artists and really fun folks. So, having found all that,
we were filled with these wonderful ideas and inspirations, and we had sort of an idea of our music. And we really wanted sort of something that would tie all of these games together. So one simple game like Pong wouldn't really work, we needed a hook. So we thought about a bunch of simple games, each with different mechanics but telling a story. And Alex started jotting down ideas.
So we wanted some sort of unifying story, and with all stories you kind of want a character or some kind of focus, and that's what that dot on the last slide was. It was our focus. And so using all of the inspiration that we had gathered, I started to jot down ideas. And this is kind of where each of our games start. If I kind of have like this idea that if you can't fit the core concept of your video game on one page of notebook paper, then your game is too complex. That's just my take on it, my hang-up. So I have like several of these, and they look like the ravings of madmen, but I made about 10 of them, and we evaluated all of them as a team to try to figure out what we wanted to do. And we ended up settling on 6 that we thought could tell an actual character's story.
Yeah, so we really wanted to make 6 games. That was, for some reason, it was like a magical number to us. And we definitely didn't want to do these 6 games for more than 2 years. We thought that 2 years was enough time to work on these. So we realized that we would have to have made them in 3 months each, which is really kind of a freaky, scary thing to do. So we decided to just work our asses off and work nonstop on BIT.TRIP instead of cutting the scope and diminishing our ideas. So this is the first style guide we made. Commander Video's visor is small and weird compared to his new beautiful one. It's our old horrible logo, and you see all the games in the series, of which those were 2 games that were replaced by Faded Flux. And then that was my first attempt at art. The bummer about this is it's so much more beautiful than that with the projectors.
Yeah, that thing blows us super awesome. It's just trust us. Are we ready? Okay, so now we had our character, we had our games, we had our inspiration, we had a very, very loose plan. And with the theme of simplicity, we had to find a story that matched. We definitely wanted to tell a story. We didn't just want these games to be arcade diversions, although arcade diversions are pretty awesome. We kind of wanted these to work as diversions as well as meaningful experiences. So we decided to choose the simplest story of all, which is the story of life and death. And in this case, Commander Video's life and death. Gesundheit. So we decided to tell his story from pre-birth to post-death through our sort of using the symbolism that we come up with, and that became the story of BIT.TRIP. Now, I would argue that since none of us really truly knows what happens pre-life or post-death, and since we know that whatever it is, it's not being alive, we can assume that we're telling a story that starts and ends in the same place. And that's why Beat and Flux are so similar. So this was our full circle sort of idea.
So 1 year ago, we were here at IndieCade, and we were watching Eddie and Andy give their talk. Actually, wrote it down here. Minimalism and Osmos and Postform.
See,
We paid attention, even though we didn't look it up. So Alex and I were sitting in the audience, and we had shown off Flux to some people here, and we were trying to figure out how we wanted to do the cutscenes. And I wanted to make them so much simpler than anything in the past that we would have done. And if you know the games, cutscenes are just extremely simple anyway. But during their talk, they showed the Hyder Simmel video called An Experimental Study of Apparent Behavior. And Alex and I looked at each other after we saw this video, and we were just like, what? Like, it was just freaking us out. So in this video, there's basically a triangle, only there's a locked up family of shapes. Yeah, so play it. It just evokes so much emotion. It's really, really well.
It's got a really long lead, so I have no idea if I actually played it or not.
So that's pretty fucked up. But I also really enjoyed it. It really honestly did freak us out.
It was too much. I emailed Andy later, and I was like, now you made me hate biggish triangles.
Yes.
It's just horrible.
So I was very moved by that personally. And Commander Video just died in Fate. This was the first cutscene. So this is a video of Commander Video sort of dripping into death, and he's hanging on to these memories of his loved ones, and there's nothing he can do, and he ends up just having to let himself go.
This is the first cutscene after all. We don't have a
So that's basically Commander Video saying goodbye to his girlfriend, Commander Girl Video. Super Meat Boy was the red dot, in case you didn't recognize.
In case he's recognizing. Is there any way we can actually get some audio? Because we have a bunch more videos. Okay, sweet deal. All right, so where were we? All right, now, I want to show you this. Eventually, we would end up telling our story in ways similar to the video that you just saw, right? But before we could get there, we had to learn a few things along the way by making the other 5 games in the series first. Now, each of us on the team, especially me and Mike, we had our own visions of how the story was supposed to unfold. So we needed to be able to satisfy many different ways of telling a story. It was almost as if we wanted to tell 3 stories, one through gameplay, one through art, and one through music. And because of this, we developed sort of an interweaving of, oh wow, that's you. Nice one.
I laughed about
Faux
getting
pas.
a phone call during the.
Take it. So, so we ended up kind of developing this interweaving storytelling dance, if you will. If you want to come from graduation. Oh, it doesn't reach. Sorry. Hold that thought.
Sorry, my fault, brought the wrong cables today.
We're getting phone calls. We've been getting.
Yeah, the best talk ever.
We're doing everything okay.
What was up?
This guy. Are we done? Okay. So anyway, so we created this sort of double helix